Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of E-Crit and Survive, where a bunch of people gather in different locations to play some Dungeons and Dragons. And the players get more and more excited every week.
Woo.
I had to throw in an extra yay in there because it didn't seem like everyone else was committed.
I did a Mexican wave.
Ah. Hold on. If I tell everyone their camera position, we could do a Mexican wave.
Oh no, surely it's one of those, isn't it? It's the worm.
Oh yeah, we could do the worm as well.
No. So anyway.
The worm was the one where you sort of wiggled along on the floor.
Probably. Well, you could do that as well, but that requires a lot more camera setup. So, yes, it's Friday. We've got more D&D happening, and we're going to see what happens. Ross is apparently on the phone to someone.
I'm on the phone to Twitch. I'm making sure that the audio is working fine. It is.
Oh, okay then.
Hello, I'm on a stream.
Ross! Hey, have your goddamn phone? Oh, he's hung up.
Actually, have hung up.
There you go. So yeah, we got some.
I was trying to do it inconspicuously anyway. Sorry, Luke.
But you were trying to do it inconspicuously.
Yeah, I was trying to check my phone and not have anyone draw any attention to it. So I'm just doing the classic thing where I just double down on the fact that we recognise that something happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, next time, just do the thing where you screenshot yourself and set that as your Zoom background, and then you can just go off camera for a moment.
Oh dear. Anyway, I think people might notice if we change shirts. Oh, there we go. Right, so where we last left off, the Wandering Stars had travelled to Scathos to have a conversation with Medusa. You had a conversation with Medusa. Medusa turned Asher into stone. And you then got some information from her, went to steal the statue back from Medusa, went back to the astral plane. Medusa followed you. Shit went sideways, and you killed Medusa. You now have the head of Medusa floating around in a bag of holding somewhere. You then returned to Scathos to get some of the other statues and possibly pick up some of the cultists that you had known to be petrified were part of Medusa's throne. You shifted the throne to reveal a cave underneath her throne where a vast array of magical weaponry and various other items had been gathered over the years. But not before you were attacked by venom elementals, alamars, and some horned cobras. Battle ensued, and you managed to survive that. You headed down, picked up the metric shit ton of stuff that was down there over the course of the day, and returned to your ship, making sure that you teleported, picking up Stumpy, who was still in the astral plane and had got off at some point, and returning to first his hometown, and then going back up to Alfheim to your Nebula Keep.
And his hometown is now also some snakes' hometown.
You did also drop off some snakes in the process. Cedric just became the snake whisperer for a short while. So, with that done, you've returned to Nebula Keep. It is, by this point, actually no, you've just had a long rest, I believe. Have you not?
I can tell you in 2 seconds. Yes, I'm full health, which would imply.
So, with various rest conditions, Lyra would probably be up first, but the rest of you would be looking at probably a rising around 9-10-ish, just due to the fact that everything. Actually, Kafina as well, trancing, which was you're still getting used to that. But you are now in your keep where breakfast is being provided. Refugees are still present. Some of them have moved out from the tent city that is within and have moved into temporary lodgings within Vanthalda, just so that they don't have to sleep in a tent.
Don't blame them.
But they seem to be relatively happy, keeping themselves sheltered. So, what would you guys like to do?
Yes.
No.
I'm just here to answer questions now.
What's the meaning of life?
42.
Oh.
If you were a pudding, which pudding would you be?
A black pudding, because then if you cut me, I split into more. And
nice. Not the breakfast type, the D&D monster type.
Yeah, the D&D monster type.
Big bowl of custard, mate.
Yeah.
I would be breakfast kind of black pudding.
Oh, okay.
Rogue. Rogue.
Well,
welcome to the Eat, Crit and Survive chat show.
It's time to wrap up the game, I guess. We've answered all of the important questions.
Eat crepes and some pies.
We should do a baking spin-off. Baking's popular at the minute.
Yeah, we should.
That's what all the kids are doing, yeah? Baking?
Yeah.
Right, we'll get your sisters to do it. Just
on the top chicks. Yeah, they're doing the baking.
I would definitely have to be a judge, otherwise things would be severely one-sided.
Well, because you'll be eating it from one side, you'll be sort of snacking on a cake.
No, one, because I bake a lot, and two, there's nothing better than being a bake-off judge because you get to eat all of the cake.
Also, Connor, you can be a master baker. So.
Yes,
I love being a master baker. I do it a lot.
On the downside, you have to eat cakes made by people who don't bake very often, which might or might not be edible.
Cake is cake.
Get that tattooed on you.
I see it
on my chest. Cake is cake.
It's cake.
We're getting sidetracked. I'm just going to bring it back to the D&D.
Sorry.
No, because no one wants to answer your open-ended question.
All of a sudden, the butler walks in with a cake.
I think we should discuss this over a nice savoury treat.
Yes, well, over breakfast, which may or may not include cake.
Real.
Founding will speak up and say, we have now got the information from Medusa and dealt with her. I think maybe we should discuss the meaning of the riddle she gave us.
Yes.
To return the planes to their proper place, each of the foes you must face. Conduits of gem at time of slay, drain the soul to fade away. Eternally sealed by inverse force, gathered where? The gods, of course. Taken from 8, a fragment of power, in molten diamond boil for an hour. Take infused gem into the mold you pour, to defeat your foes numbered 4 and 4.
Poetic.
The first thing that springs to mind, possibly because Kifina was just talking about searching out Hephaestus previously, but melting something and pouring it into a mold to make something sounds forge related. So it could be worth pursuing that to seek out Hephaestus, and that also ties in with the line about being sealed with the gods.
Also, molten diamond, that sort of heat can really
That's an incredible amount of heat
in a volcano or around a volcano.
Possibly the fire plane.
Possibly. But that's another link to Hephaestus.
I did see him not long ago, and the reason I was asking is because he said he's basically given me a quest to find his forge in a volcano. I don't believe he told me the volcano part. I believe I found that out elsewhere. Sorry, out of character. I genuinely can't remember where she got that tidbit from.
You subsequently discovered that Hephaestus forge does live in a volcano.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Somewhere along the line, you may have already known it, but
yeah.
Religion check.
Yeah. I mean, I lived in the contrivance for a year. It's believable that I picked it up. So
yeah. Makes sense.
But I mean, I don't know where a bunch are, and I think one of them is even possibly, what's it, that realm where the gods live? I forget the name.
Olympus.
I was doing that purposefully, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Trying to get another character to answer, not God.
Olympus.
This loud voice just boomed.
Her face just pops up, goes Olympus, and then fucks up again.
Where my fucking house is, you dicks.
Rude.
That's Zeus.
Rude.
Oh,
So, speaking of, although if we are going to go off search, maybe we should deal with the other statues we collected from Medusa as well. We're currently at a reasonably secure location. It may be worth investigating them before we go off. Although they could be just stored and left here for later.
Some of them are connected to the void, right? The cults of the void, aren't they? Foundling. Person who was just talking. Can anyone hear me? We've all went silent.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm not sure Foundling was there for the conversation where that was revealed. I think that was...
I think it's been discussed since then. I think you made that discussion and it's common knowledge. Hello, Joey.
Aw.
He's been so. He's literally just whining at me.
That'll get us some likes. People love dogs.
he hears other people. That's the problem.
Mm.
On the first, don't you? Just don't like.
Yes, I think they are. We believe some of them to be related to the cult.
I mean, I guess it depends on what we find important. You know, what do we need to prioritize? Getting more information on the cult or finding out a way to melt a diamond in a bunch of soul gems?
I think we should try suss out how we can melt the soul gems, because we could actually then dispose of some of these visionaries that keep popping up.
It did sound like we have to do them all simultaneously in one. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't really get the riddle much itself, but it kind of sounded like a recipe.
I thought the conduits of gem at the time of slay drain the soul to fade away just meant that destroying the visionaries on this plane and destroying the gems within them allowed their souls to escape to be gathered by the gods in the next bit. Previously, when we've bought them, the gems weren't destroyed and presumably contained their soul to allow them to come back.
As a reminder, the last few times we've killed one, the gem has actually exploded, hasn't it?
Yes.
It explodes when it turns
Vaporized.
into mythic form. I think.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they shattered in their chest and invoked them with new abilities.
Does that mean that those souls are already contained with the gods?
Possibly.
So if we talk to a god, we could find the answer out on that.
We could certainly try.
If we can find the gods, that's going to be difficult at the minute.
We do have the statues dedicated to various gods here that Asher thoughtfully set up for us. I'm certainly willing to give prayer a try.
When it says taken from 8 a fragment of power, I was thinking that referred to the visionaries because there are 8 of them. But maybe it refers to gods. Maybe we take a fragment of God's powers and infuse them in this diamond in a mold somehow. Maybe.
I think it's a big ask to ask a god for a fragment of power.
I mean,
but
we
this
already
is
have some fragments potentially, as I gesture towards Genesis, for example.
Also,
that?
isn't some of your magic a conduit of the god's power?
It's not a direct piece as such.
Just putting it out there, if we were going to ask a god about the soul stuff, I assume we should be asking the god that collects souls. Also, I can cast divination. Again, can't be sure how accurate or helpful the answer will be, but it's something we can kind of throw out if we need a little help in trying to discern something without trying to bother gods. I don't know.
Bothering a god, going to text a god instead.
Sorry, didn't catch that, Luke.
But so instead of bothering a god by going up and just knocking on their front door, you're going to send them a text instead.
Yeah.
I
They can
know.
ignore it if they want to.
I know this would be a big sacrifice for the gods to give away a fragment of power, but the alternative is them being destroyed. I mean, that's what the cult is aiming for.
I mean, we don't know it's the god's power.
We don't.
If they have if they somehow collect the souls of all 8 of the visionaries from us killing them in this plane, maybe they can extract some sort of power from those. I think maybe we do need to ask the gods.
I'd like to phone a friend.
Find the god and
Offering
speak.
divination, is that what you're doing?
No. It's like, I seriously felt like someone contemplating it.
Ask the audience.
Yeah, ask the audience. Yeah.
If you have suggestions on how the Wandering Stars can solve this, please put your message in the chat now.
Answers on a postcard, please.
I think we might need some divine.
I think it's worth asking, if nothing else.
Asha, over there in the dark corner, do we have a statue of a god that that is responsible for collecting the souls of the dead?
What? We're a nebula, right?
Yes.
Isn't there a whole island dedicated to the souls of the dead?
Yes, there is.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's where we found the king's son, which I didn't kill, because he's alive now. So technically, I didn't do it. Yeah, there's a whole island dedicated to it.
It still counts even if you control Z it.
Well,
Yes, there is a temple, as you know, Asher. There is the temple of temples on the island of Helheim, which is being shelled apparently. Which did have temples to Freya, Odin, Ran, and Hela.
And there's also Odin. The Raven Queen, Athena, and someone else in Nebula? Artemis.
Foundling, you're probably the best place to do this. Make a religion check for me as to who the gods on that side are.
Okay, 1 religion check coming up.
Oh, hello, that's a new friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, 18.
18, okay. Thinking about which gods gather souls, as far as you're concerned, in terms of your pantheon that you follow, you would be looking at Thanatos as the god of death, or Hermes, the messenger god.
I shall pass that to the group. I'm not sure where to find a temple to either of them, but we could probably find them if we looked.
A temple to who, sorry?
Either Thanatos or Hermes.
We're unlikely to find anything for them on in Jorvik.
Would I know somewhere on the other continents where there'd be the temples like this?
Not on Piaros, but you do know that there are temples to most of the gods, not all of them, particularly the major Olympians. You probably haven't been to one yourself. There is a temple on Hellas. There are a series of temples in Hellas Gracia under a mountain range in the dwarven city of Vectoram.
I don't know if I'd have been to Vectoram though. That's a bit outside where I was.
Yeah, it was outside of where you've been, but you would know that it exists if
Yeah.
you had travelled across from Fiaros up to the Ark in its current location.
Yeah.
So you would have gone past the mountain range would have been on your left hand side as you went north, essentially. So you'd be aware that it exists, but you don't know where it is.
Yes, we could seek out the dwarf city of Vectoram, which has temples which mature the gods. I have a rough idea of its location, though I've not been there myself.
Galatar says, "Oh, I've been there quite a lot actually. Used to go there quite a few times with George. Go and find the attractive women, and occasionally men. Quite often both. For me, George was a ladies' man.
I am guessing you know the city, but not the temples then.
Don't get me wrong, I went to the temple of Aphrodite from time to time. But I know our part of the city, at least.
So we could get. We probably don't want to try to go directly into the city. Presumably, you know an external entrance where it would be safe to park the ship rather than trying to take it under a mountain, because that seems like a bad idea.
There's probably space there. You're right, we should probably appear on the south side of the mountain, park the ship somewhere.
It seems that we have a plan of action.
Sounds like a good starting point.
It's better than sitting around eating cake all day.
Well, at the very least, there's temples to Hephaestus there. They might have an idea of where this volcano forge is.
And not to use stereotypes, but dwarves are often keen on forging and that kind of thing.
Sounds like a good place to start. Shall we go?
Yes, I've finished my cake. I'm ready to go.
Unless there's anything anyone else needs to do in Jorvik, then I'm cool for it.
I don't think so.
The only other thing I can possibly think of is you're looking for a forge near a volcano, and Nidavellir is exactly a forge near a volcano. It's not directly associated with it, but some of the greatest weaponsmiths around live there.
I mean, we do want to find the forge, but I think some of this was also just to get a little more direction on some of the finer points of the riddle, essentially. Plus, I'm pretty sure the forge is meant to be in the heart of the volcano, so while we may get some information on it, I don't think that's the place we're after.
Okay, well, if that's what you think, I can only throw some points out there.
Have a look quickly anyway, so we could investigate both Vectoram and this island today, quite probably.
Do we want to start?
Any pointers?
Yeah, I mean, we can start with either.
I leave that completely up to Kafina.
To Vectoram.
To Vectoram.
It may give us a lead on Hephaestus and the souls, whereas searching out the forge would only potentially give us a lead on Hephaestus. We might be able to accomplish 2 tasks at once by going to Vectoram.
I am all about efficiency, Foundling. Lead the way. We all board this ship.
Yes.
So
Okay.
someone plug Kelatar in. We need him to do a bit of guidance.
So, usual pilots dock in with Kalatar taking
I'll
into
do it.
What?
He'll dock in, I think he said.
Okay. Kalatar also joins in.
I presume Leela's getting the last slot for maximum ship piloting combo.
Sure. The 3 of you get into position. Oh, what are you doing with the throne? Are you leaving that on the ship and the various other bits and pieces you picked up, or are you
Yes.
leaving that in?
Oh, I wanted to say on the ship. I think we should leave it on the ship.
If
I
we,
definitely think we should leave it on the ship.
are you sure though? Because it's easier to steal stuff from the ship than it is our keep.
Yeah, I'd say to leave it here. This seems a more secure location.
Okay then. I mean, a lot of people do know where our secret keepers.
At least someone will be guarding it. I mean, are we going to leave anyone in the?
Is anyone guarding it? Does anyone guard our keep? I don't think anyone does.
No,
Well, there's this
No, the
big army of
wizard.
people
The wizard?
here.
Yeah.
Orion there.
No, it's
Orion is there, yes.
because I mean,
and Cedric too.
Oh yeah, and Cedric too. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Cedric's too there. Oh yeah, that's fine then. We can trust Cedric too. He's definitely not going to betray us and turn into the big bad or something.
Hang on, were we going to be doing some repairs on Cedric too, or has
The wizard
The
has
wizard
got
is
you
doing
after.
Okay.
Okay, so are you leaving it here with the weapons that you found and the money, or?
Take some money with us.
Yeah, I'd like to take some money because I'm poor.
Yeah, take some money.
I'd set like a cool 10 grand.
All right. in platinum or gold?
Platinum.
Okay, so you got set.
Take like 100 platinum.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I
Okay,
will.
okay.
Why not? Everyone else is. I'll take 100 platinum as well.
by the way, Luke, I don't know if
Yes, my lord.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to remove 100 platinum.
I don't know if you remember, Luke, but I think remember back when I was calculating the money to be given out to the group, and we had to figure out how much I could fit in a bag of holding, and it came up to something like 256,000 coins or something like that.
Something like that. I
Yeah.
think you have a limit because you have other stuff in your bank holding.
Yeah, I reduced it a little to make up for the like less than a kilo of items in there, but yeah.
Keeping the 10 grand in there just in case the dwarf guy messages me about his Vorpal sword.
Fair enough. Alrighty. So, with Kalatar and all preparations in hand, you set off. You blink out into the astral plane and return to the material in what is a much warmer climate, or at least it would be if it was light, because you have travelled several hours back, so you're now probably pre-dawn at this point. But behind you there is a massive mountain range that seems to stretch far off into the horizon. And to the south there are two larger hills that you can see that are sort of a few. You can see from your altitude, but they are quite a distance away from where you currently are. But as Keratar brings the ship down to land, you are maybe a mile or two away from the foothills, but there are signs of some foot traffic at least off maybe 500, 600 feet away or so.
I think we want to take the ship as close to the entrance as we can. There may be some guards or something there that could keep an eye on it for us.
They may also shoot us.
I mean, if we have people walking ahead, I can also fly. I've got my broom. we could warn them. I was also thinking possibly we could park the ship above the clouds, make it more hidden in that sense. The tricky part about that is that we can't get back on the ship quickly then.
The other thing I would say is that there are 4 clans here, and one of them looks after the tops of the mountain range, and quite a few of them stretch up above the clouds. So they do search that area.
That actually might be better off then. We just need to go above, like to the top of the mountain and ask that clan if they're cool with guarding our ship. That way it's hard for any random person to come across it. And it's, yeah, I don't know.
How do we get off the ship?
Sorry?
How do we get off the ship? Not all of us can fly.
No, I mean, we land the ship at the top of the mountain. Or or most of us get dropped off, and anyone who can fly just takes it to the top and discusses. I don't know. I'm spitballing. It just feels a bit weird if you had this giant ship next to the main entrance. Like, there's going to be a lot of traffic. A lot of people are going to see that. It just seemed like a better idea to try and keep it. I don't know. I mean, we saw this and we took it straight away. I just feel like other people have the same idea.
It is a fair point.
Plus, we also got stabbed, like while we were sleeping on the ship. It's not secure. There's no way to stop people from getting on it and stealing it. So
going up a mountain may leave us with a longer journey back down underneath, but it would be more secure. I think it's worth taking the time.
Agreed.
Why is no one talking today?
Let's
Everyone
do
lost
it.
their voice.
I don't know.
I'm tired as all shit, and I'm
I
finding
think
I'm
it's just a
talking
little
more.
week for everyone.
Yeah.
Dying slowly.
And Connor's dying slowly.
Stop that, Connor. Seriously.
Aren't we all dying slowly?
Oh,
Yes.
that's too deep. Right. Right.
Yeah. You
Ross,
grow, you
take
grow,
your
you grow.
ring of wisdom off.
No,
It's far too early.
Live slow, die old.
Yeah. From the moment you hit 20, you're basically dying from then on. So.
Woo!
Oh, so it's such a positive session.
Yeah. And death is natural. Don't be afraid, Laura. It's all good.
The cake, please.
One day you will be a cake because you will have died and become the wheat that makes the cake.
Christ almighty.
Is that what you're going to get reincarnated as, Jared? I'm going to come back as wheat.
I mean, I'm not thinking of reincarnation. I'm just thinking of decomposition, but sure.
Anyway, I really should stop having sessions which are so open-ended.
Isn't that what the next? You said you were going to change for the next campaign, and I keep feeling it's going to be more open-ended, which means this is going to happen way more.
He already said it's going to be all about tattoos.
Yeah, we're just gonna play tattoo wars.
Yeah.
So we got to build the fan base now so that we can get really good fan art.
No, we have to do it. We have to draw our shitty tattoos, and and the quality of drawing will depict how successful using our abilities are.
I was going to say we have to get the tattoo that our characters get. It doesn't work on your character until it happens to you in real life, right?
I'm going to need to find a new D&D group.
It's fine.
Let's go to the
already-
mountain. We're blinking to the mountain. Let's go.
Okay, you fly.
I'm trying to correct the course. Pun intended.
Okay, thank you. So as you fly, you're blinking up, or are you flying up?
Flying up. I
I
don't
think
think
we're
we
flying
know
up.
how to blink.
Okay, you fly up with your tentacly ship, and unsurprisingly, in very short order, you are approached by griffins and giant eagles swooping down, armored and looking somewhat aggressive.
Sure.
Um,
I know who needs to go greet them.
Someone charismatic.
I go up to the top.
okay.
Hello, friends. We come in peace.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I haven't even got my dice ready. Don't worry, they're always
You know what we're doing today, right, Ross?
they're always on hand. Don't worry, I've got them literally right there. So. Oh, 10.
Okay. The fact that you're standing there prostrate, waving at these, does give them pause, and they sort of pull up, and
Cedric's done his job now. Someone else more charismatic should come finish it off.
they sort of.
I'll get on my broom, not just go to the opening at the top, but literally fly out. Oh shit! I'm not a tiny I'm not a tiny, weak-looking person anymore. I forgot I can't act all innocent.
You're literally a drow flying towards.
You're a drow.
Probably
yeah.
dwarves.
They're actively evil.
Well, I already said I was doing it.
Well, okay. You fly up and sort of float next to the top of the ship, and they sort of. Look,
Oh, no. I come out of the ship and I very slowly go forward as I say, we're not here to harm you. We're just trying to land. I know the ship looks weird. It's just what it is,
First of all, make a dexterity saving throw.
To
No
fly
hands
on
on
my
the broom.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it just to be swinging upside down while you're trying to say this.
At least my
It'll
thighs
give you
are locked,
advantage on the persuasion because we look like such goofballs.
So a deck
won't be
save, you
threat.
say?
I do.
10.
So as you sort of fly up and go, it's okay. There's a gust of wind that blows you, and because you are so lopsided with your various things, you fall sideways and make a strength save this time to try and clasp with your thighs.
Oh, I've gone from a +1 to a -2, so that's going to be a 5.
If only you had a tome of thigh mastering.
If only I had a what?
A tome of thigh master.
Luke,
You start to fall.
right. Well, seeing as that's the case, can I cast Investiture of Wind on myself so I stop falling?
Make a Constitution saving throw to try and cast a spell whilst just for concentration.
I am rolling terrible. This is my good dice, and I can't roll above a 10. But I have a shit ton of con, so that's a 17.
17. Okay, you managed to. Okay. Before you look down behind you, and you are not that far off from being just speared against a mountain, and that would have been a bad day for Kathina.
Yeah.
We would have brought you back as something else.
Roll the dice again.
Would have been roundabouts this time as well.
Now you're a penguin.
Oh, that is not an elf.
No,
Yeah.
just a penguin.
Oh, I just did the association of elves, so the Santa, so the North, so penguins.
Penguin South Pole.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which case it'd be Alcators.
You're casting the spell. You're casting the spell, and you're like elf, 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 and all of a sudden, just walking across the penguin, it's quack, and you just look at it, and it's like penguin shit.
Anyway, you manage to fly back up, and you do hear them. Do either of you speak Dwarvish?
No.
Okay. You hear them sort of shouting over the winds at each other.
Does it sound like they're
What?
laughing?
No.
Okay.
But they do lower their weapons.
Because they're laughing.
I pull out my gun.
Because they are slightly smiling. One of them does fly over on the griffin and hops off and lands on the platform at the top of the ship. It's sort of
Tentacle punch.
Say tentacle punch.
Yeah.
Please tell me that wasn't serious.
Oh, right. The ship has tentacles. Like, who's got tentacles?
Okay, new rule: don't let Asher fly the
Cedric
ship.
has voice a lot of the time.
Hello, my name's Cedric. What is yours?
I am so far the head of the Cyclonda tribe. I'd like to wonder what you're doing in our airspace.
We were looking to dock somewhere if we could.
I mean, there's space on the ground that you could have walked into the city. Why do you want to park?
Well, I don't know if you have seen, but the ship is a little bit peculiar, so we were actually trying to make less of a scene.
Hey, that's an understatement. You fly up here in your tentacly ship, and we think that you're trying to invade us and eat our brains. You can forgive us for being a little bit tetchy.
I mean, I do forgive you.
That's kind of you.
So, can we park our ship here now, please?
Make a persuasion check.
Of course, it's going to go great, yeah. Oh, it's getting lower. 8?
It was going to go great until you got sassy.
Cedric just does. It's not even sass.
No,
Cedric
no.
just, yeah, like.
No, Ross. Until you got sassy.
Cedric doesn't understand. He said, "Please forgive," so he forgave.
I know.
It was
Anyway,
only an
persuasion
8.
check.
It was only an 8.
8. What business have you got in Vectoram?
Well, we were hoping to maybe see some of the shrines that you have and some of the temples. And I've never been here, so.
We're actually on. I've grabbed my broom and fallen back. Sorry, we're actually kind of on a mission from the gods, sort of per se. There's this cult that's wreaking havoc across in Jorvik, and we needed to ask a different set of gods some queries about some of the goings on. It's a very unusual situation.
It is totally
It's
going
the
to be
face of a drow.
It's going to be the unicorn and sinkhole story all over again, where they're going to be like, "What are you talking about? This is utter nonsense," and we keep trying to re-explain it. It's not going to work.
Looks at both of you and sort of moves between the two of you. This furbolg that's flying on this giant tentacly ship, and a drow that's out around dawn. That they seem to be together, and she doesn't quite buy this. But
Don't worry, send up the goblin.
Yeah, no.
Or the hybrid.
Me and Lyra will stay down. We don't want to, normalize the party.
I'm like the slender elf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're an Eladrin. Oh
Yeah.
fucking hell.
I'm also like 6.5 feet tall.
she
You're the big elf.
She looks at you and says, "I've got to be honest. I don't think that it's going to be the wisest idea for you to walk around our city."
Wait,
She's
who's
looking
this
very
doing that?
pointedly at you, Kafina.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Is it this? And she's like points at the apparatus. Is it?
It's more of this.
Have I got something on my face? And I'm looking at Cedric.
Does she have anything on her face?
I don't think so.
I mean, passively, he can see her pores.
21.
21. She
Has
does
got
have a few.
paws? Some kind of animal.
Nah, but
She has got a few bugs that have smashed onto her face as she fell.
yes, you do. When you fell, there was some bug juice on you.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have to be very clean before we go into your city?
In a sense, yes. More so that my kind are accustomed to your kind coming in and trying to pillage quite a few. We had an incident about 25 years ago or so, where drow and orc kind tried to invade. It didn't go particularly well.
She's not always been like this, just so you know.
I got reincarnated like this. I used to be a halfling.
So we don't understand some of these peculiar customs of people hating each other.
Weirdly enough, though, I'm a halfling, but I can't actually speak halfling, so I can't even back this up in character.
Yes, you can.
Hang on, I've got to check because it's saying that I don't, but that might be because
it's because you changed your race.
Because you changed your race on D&D Beyond, it will change the so you don't speak Elvish, you do speak unless you could do it beforehand.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Okay, I'll go ahead and change that now. But yeah, good.
We'll do it, just do a manual override. Yeah, you don't. If just because you've changed race doesn't mean you immediately forget the language and
Can you imagine
learn.
that was you forgot all of your languages and just relearned the one that you. Lena just went full goblin basically when she.
Yeah.
She knows how to say hello.
Yeah.
That's it. And please don't kill me.
I mean, that could be useful on the dwarves. You might need to say those.
Well, if I don't know if you can do anything about the way that you look, Kafina, but apparently they might not like you.
Okay, hang on.
What if we all look like Drow?
That sounds like it's gonna
I
be
would tend to say,
worse.
would it help if it were a group of drow?
No, arguably that'd be worse.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, yes, of course. I have already cast this before. She was flicking through a book quickly and goes, yes, of course. Hang on. I need to stand somewhere in case I blow myself up. Just give me a minute.
Immediately steps back and climbs onto her eagle.
I would move
Oh,
away.
yeah, I'm gonna just I need to land on the top of the ship because if everything goes tits up, I don't want to fall again. And I'm just gonna
Are you
stand.
just happy with blowing up the ship?
No, I think he's hovering above the ship, so then if he fails, he
Yeah.
He doesn't
Just
fall onto the jagged rocks. He just falls into the ship.
ship. Yeah. That was the idea. And to do it while on my broom, just in case I lose concentration on my spell. But yeah, I'm gonna try and cast Disguise Self on myself and just basically, I guess, bleach the skin. I feel horrible saying that, but yes, essentially, I'm just going to change the skin color.
You're going to whitewash yourself.
You could have picked Furbolg. We know that they're safe.
She doesn't want to look like that. Okay, just putting it out there. Yeah, okay. I know she's not nice.
You transform yourself. You don't have it prepared, do you? So roll, for the hell of it, roll an Arcana check. Only because you don't have halfling luck anymore.
Yeah, true. I can fail this now. Nah, 23.
Yeah, you're fine.
So yeah.
So you alter yourself magically, and you now look like a regular elf. Dreadlocks darken, and but as long as you can keep it up, I don't imagine we'll have too much. Just probably don't go near the Temple of Hecate.
Oh, that was actually the one we needed to see.
Why wouldn't we go there?
But the Temple of Hecate, you're not there. The Temple of Hecate is the goddess of magic. There's a lot of people around there that can see through magics.
Right.
So if they see someone walking through a drow disguise, they might think, "Oh shit," and attack.
What if we arrived early and said, "There's about to be someone who's about to arrive who looks like this but doesn't actually look like this, and they might look like a bad guy but they're not a bad guy." Do you think they'd then let this person walk through that building?
Cedric,
if you were persuasive enough, possibly bribe someone. I don't know. I can't endorse that because cheat.
So what you're saying is I should definitely go and speak with these people and it would work out for the best.
If that's where your business is, to go to the Temple of Hecate, then by all means go and chat to them.
Cedric,
possibly don't take her.
Ask for a hall pass.
You're not there either.
I know.
Cedric, you know what? Let's completely scrap this idea. How about, seeing as there's going to be so much trouble just me going into the city, maybe I stay and guard the ship like I did last time?
I guess you could, I suppose.
And then we don't even have to worry about parking here. You can all go in the entrance and we can save ourselves some time.
That is very true.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for helping us and letting us know all this. I guess we avoided a massive catastrophe.
I mean, you're here now. You might as well go in from this entrance.
Yes, they'll probably just drop us off. To be fair, we're close enough to the. I think we're not that far away from the entrance.
Wait,
it depends what you're going to do in the city. I've got to be honest, because if you're going to be in there and out, this is probably the fastest way for you to go in. But it depends what you're going to do.
Can someone guard our ship? Can we pay someone to look after it? Or
we could probably spare a couple of guards to watch it for a while. For how long are you going to be gone?
7 hours.
We could get someone to watch it for their someone that's off shift. They probably wouldn't mind an extra bit of coin.
That would be good. Only your finest, though.
Yeah, they're all pretty fine.
Good.
I'll keep an eye.
Okay. Well, I guess we go in this way then.
Am I still staying on? Should I still stay on the
If you
ship?
want to come, you can come in. You don't have to go near that.
I mean, I
temple.
do want to come, but it sounds like it's going to cause a lot of trouble.
No,
And
it's
I'm
not
just saying, avoid the Temple of Hecate. You're probably fine everywhere else.
We,
Okay.
We
Won't
very
give a shit.
rarely cause trouble anywhere.
right, well, when we get to the temple,
Glad to hear it.
yeah, sure.
Surely you need to make a deception check for that.
And no, don't give him ideas.
Cedric doesn't believe that they cause trouble. Trouble happens to you.
Yeah.
Blissfully ignorant.
Yes.
All right, we park the ship and let everyone know and yada yada. How much shall we pay you for the guarding?
Well, let them sort it out for you. They're the ones that are giving up their time to do it.
Right.
Okay.
Thank
We've got to go on patrol, so just
Thank you so far. Thank you.
she writes a quick scrap of paper and hands it to you. If you give that to one of the men up there, you'll be fine.
Like a pay and display ticket.
Oh, we did get a
Essentially.
hall pass.
If we don't get one, we come back and find someone that was clamped our ship.
All the
full boots on
tentacles.
it. Just been chained to a mountain. All right.
They've called up a rock and towed it. We have to go to the impound yard.
So we will go down to everyone else. I say, everyone, I have secured us safe passage into the city. We can just leave the ship here. Make sure this note is prominently displayed somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. We need to take this to one of the other people, and they will guard the ship for us.
Okay, so let's get the guards in place and go to the city.
You float up, presented to a rather burly-looking dwarf with closely braided beard that seems to have been sort of done into cornrows that then go back and sort of intertwine with their hair, seeming to be some sort of streamlined helmet made of their own beard.
Cool.
And he goes, "Right, we'll get a couple of the off-duty ones to keep an eye on you. If you're descending down, you're probably best off taking the elevator. We normally fly. We don't recommend you trying that if you're not wing-worthy."
What does wing-worthy mean?
If you can't fly.
Oh, right, okay.
Not all of us.
I mean,
can fly.
I could if I wanted to.
I'm sure you could.
I'm better at coping with falls than the average, but down a mountain does not seem like a good idea.
Well, that's fine then. But you are guided over to a platform, which is sort of interlocked, and you feel it start to move beneath your feet, and you begin to descend through the mountain range. And it takes about an hour or so, at which point Kabini will need to repeat your spell.
Yeah. Is there enough space on this platform for me to get distance from everyone?
Maybe 5 feet.
Yeah. This is gonna go badly no matter what I do.
Why don't you wait until we arrive, and then we can shuffle you off to the side?
It's all right. I've got a few rope trick scrolls. I can do this in quick. How fast is this thing descending?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I've got a broom. I can fly.
About the speed of a normal lift, so it is going relatively quickly.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, we'll wait
It's
until
going a long way.
I'll wait until I'm almost at the bottom. Then I'll rope trick and do it in there. That way, I can't blow anyone else up.
Okay.
I've got 3
Does
scrolls.
the chamber have a roof? The chamber we're in. So we just open to the shaft.
Yes. But as you're sort of descending, you fall out of the shaft. You can now see that there is a wide city below, carved from stone, with a central pillar that runs right the way down to a central marketplace where people are milling around doing various bits and pieces. You can see that this city is very cleanly divided into 4 quadrants. And over to sort of the southeasterly side, you can see up in the mountains there is a monastery that is carved and hanging down from the ceiling, which gives an interesting perspective. You can see that there are all some stalagmites and stalactites have been hollowed out, and there are pinpricks of light that are shining through them. The city itself is surprisingly well lit, but you can see that all these buildings seem to have been carved from the stone, and it's as if they've hewn out the entirety of this city down here. But you descend down, and you can hear over in the northeast quadrant, the sound of hammers and the smell of smoke that is wafting its way up towards you. And some of it does, sort of bypass you a little bit, as it seems to. This part of it does seem to be a natural chimney when it's open. But you are gradually making your way down. You see various other dwarfs and other humanoid races moving around, going about their business. So as you get down towards the bottom, Kavini, you're doing your rope trick and then disguise self?
Yeah, and I already rolled the Arcana check. I got a 2, so I was so damn close.
So a total of 11.
No, it'd be 13. I've got a plus 11 on the check, so...
Oh, for what? The disguise self, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, I've got plus 11 ever since I got that little Tyeth orb thingy.
Taichi stone.
Tidy stone, yeah, it gives me plus 2 to everything, so my Arcana's plus 11 now. So. Yeah.
Okay. I was right, because it's twice the level of self from DC. All right, you return to your elven form, and by this point the lift is slowing down, so it's not too much of a stretch for you to drop down after using your rope trick scroll, so mark that off. But you disembark, and you are now in Vectoram. A number of dwarfs are milling about, some of them looking, in armor, looking like they're ready to go up for their shift. But just a few people just sort of wandering around nearby, people going about their business. It seems to be that they don't have so much of a day-night cycle down here. So either that or the businesses kick off a little bit earlier. So there's actually still quite a lot of people moving around, businesses taking place, smell of baking taking place, meats, all sorts of things.
Is there some these like market stalls that I can smell the food from, or?
Yeah, over in the main central area where the big pillar is the agora, the main trading area.
Is anyone else hungry? I could do with some food.
I have
Not
something
been
I'd
that-
like to look for. If there are any shops here, actually.
It's not been that long since breakfast, but if we buy something from a store, we could then ask directions to the temples.
That sounds like a good idea. I will go over to the stalls.
You walk over to the stores, sort of following your way. It takes you another about 10 minutes or so, just sort of weaving your way through the various places. And you reach the stores. There's all sorts of things. So what sort of things is Cedric in the mood for? There is a bakery that is open for business. There is meat stalls. There is a blurry vision, Cedric.
I don't know why the camera's not focusing. Sorry, everyone's just gonna have to like go cross-eyed or. Oh, there we go. Hey everyone.
Go home, camera. You're drunk.
It looks bad.
Sorry, I was too busy trying to fix my blurry camera. There's like a bakery. There's
meat stalls. There's one very fine artisanal cheese merchant.
When you mentioned meat and bread, basically I just wanted to make like the greasiest like sandwich. I wanted to get like a whole loaf.
Yes.
Slice it in half and then just stuff it with like slices of meat.
All right. You head into one of the bakeries, and there's a female dwarf sort of sandwiches. Oh, hello. You're wanting to buy some of the baked goods?
Yes, please.
Oh, wonderful, dear, wonderful. We don't get often many of your kind. Do you want a bigger loaf than usual?
Yes, please, if there is available.
Hey, not to worry. One of my husbands is quite often fond of this sort of bigger loaf, so bear with me. One comes back with a much bigger loaf. And you notice that when she comes back in, she has a wedding band on each of her ring fingers.
Oh.
Got two.
Yeah, she got one on each hand.
Okay. She has multiple husbands.
I think we met her last campaign.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep, this is Jan's favourite bakery.
Wait, is this the one with the wedding cake and Opti made the window disappear? Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I loved it. It's so good.
That'll cost you 3 silver. No, we can't hear you.
You're muted, Cedric.
No.
She takes the coin from you and is confused as to why you're not speaking to her anymore. She seems very offended by this.
No.
Nope. But you go to the next stall and there is.
Aha!
There you go. Oh, you're welcome, dear. Oh, hey, we've got plenty of sweets. And she steps away from the counter and she reveals to you an entire patisserie row of various baked cupcakes and very fine patisserie style treats.
I will purchase a cupcake.
Hey, we can mix in all sorts of flavors. What flavors are you wanting? Well, we've got this sort of salted caramel arrangement. We've got fine white chocolate. We've got this one, which is sort of a cream cheese and strawberry kind of arrangement. We've got one which is like this weird combination fruit that's sort of part way through an orange and something. I think they call it an uzu. I'm not sure. We're getting imported. It's quite nice, quite refreshing.
I will take a salted caramel one, please.
Hey, you're welcome. She places one on the table. Hey.
Leela looks sick from all the cake she ate at breakfast.
I take 5 of an assortment of flavors.
I'll give her a gold. And while we're here, could we ask you for directions to the temples? We want to go and visit them after we've eaten.
Of course. Which temple are you looking for?
We're interested in both Thanatos and Hermes.
Hermes is not that far from here, actually. More, maybe 5 minutes sort of that way. He points out the window. You can see that there is a temple too far away. In fact, around the outskirts of the agora, there's about a dozen temples that ring around the outside of this market space. Thanatos, we don't necessarily have a temple to him. There's a sort of shrine that people do for funeral rites. Most of that stuff does go through Hades and the Balduran tribe.
And where would you find them?
They're up at the monastery.
That caught my eye on the way in. I was hoping to visit there anyway.
Right. No, that's fine.
Thank you
anything else I can help
and
with?
for the directions.
Oh, you're quite all right.
Are there any shops selling magical items hereabouts?
None at the moment. There was an accident about a year or so ago that caused a problem in one of the magical items. I mean, you might be able to get some stuff from the Temple of Hecate. People leave donations there all the time, so you might be able to, donate to the church, and they might have something available. You can ask.
Thank you.
All right.
Do we pay her?
I did.
Family did.
Okay, good. I will give her an extra gold coin.
Oh. Right.
For her helpful information and for being a lovely person. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, dearie. My husband will be very happy with the business we've done today. She rubs her hands with the flower and sort of gives you a wave.
It's definitely not Opti paying for... No, Ross paying for Opti's previous years.
Cedric feels a slight
tingle of...
Cedric, he's got this nagging guilt in the back of his head. He doesn't know why.
It's going to be everywhere we walk around here.
Yeah. All right, so head outside again.
I was going to say going to Hermes, as that's nearby, but I think Cedric wanted to find meat as well.
Yes,
There's a
please.
meat-
Can I finish
There's a
my
meat
sandwich?
stall. Yeah, there's a meat stall not that far away. There's
Did
I
I do
will-
hunk of meat?
I will hustle over and ask for some meat for my loaf.
Hey, what kind of meat are you wanting?
What kind do you have?
Well, we've got the finest cow, we've got goat, we've got badger, we've got the best meat that you can enjoy.
I don't think I've ever eaten badger before. Can I have some badger, please?
Hey, I assume you want it shaved.
That's
I'm
how the
fucking with you.
pandemic
It's all
started.
shaved. It's fine.
It is, I presume, cooked as well.
Oh, aye, we only give the finest cooked meats, unless you want it smoked and you want it in jerky and that kind of thing. Not a problem. Let me get you some badger. You want how much badger you want it?
Enough to fill the sandwich, please.
Half a badger, right?
Fucking hell. How big's this sandwich?
It's like a Scooby Doo sandwich.
You have to imagine there's not a lot of meat on badgers.
Yeah.
Out of character, I want to ask if the badger was being very nonchalant before it was.
He rolled a 3 on his stealth check and was just walking on his hind legs before he got killed.
Now, I have completed the famous internet video of badger, mushroom is a snake in 2 episodes.
There you go. But the slabs of badger are provided to you in a thick gravy. Right, do you want to, how are you going to put it in the sandwich? Do you want me to just slide it in? You're going to haul the bread out, or what are you doing?
How do they have sandwiches here?
What?
I'll try to just crack the loaf in half. I would like the meat in between my slices of bread, please.
You're literally going to just have and eat it like that. You're not going to hollow it out. Let me show you a Vectoram roll. He just reaches it, just takes one half of the bread, and just takes the
Why is he putting his hand in my bread?
takes the bread out and shoves the meat into it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's like a
Elvis style.
It's a pitter. It's a pitter essentially, but just a crusty bread.
I mean, it does sound good. Thank you very much.
Have you not
How
done
much
this
is
in
it
real
for
life,
the badger?
Ross? For the badger meat's not that expensive. It's easy to farm. That'll run you 2 silver.
I will give
for
you
half a badger.
3 silver because
Oh.
I'm feeling generous.
Thank you kindly, sir. Come back for all your badger needs.
I definitely will.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, that was clever.
Ah.
I can see why you sell all the meat here.
Hey, I get competition from him down the way. And he looks down, he just seems looking stink eye at this other dwarf that is selling has got a very similar setup, except it's on the left instead of the right.
Oh, okay.
Bastard. We'll have to tell Mother next time we go to dinner.
Anyway, I hope I
carry
see
on.
you again soon. Bye.
Goodbye.
It's very rare for Cedric to feel like he's not the weird one in the conversation, but it happened.
Did Cedric get to talk to Stumpy at all?
No, I don't think he really did.
I don't think he did.
No.
It's a shame. I feel like they might have gotten on.
Thank you, everyone, for waiting while I got my sandwich sorted. We can go now.
Let's eat while we go over to the Temple of Hermes. It's just over there.
All right. Head over to the Temple of Hermes as Cedric eat his giant loaf of bread with meat in it.
I think we'll wait until it's done before going inside.
No, it's a big sandwich. It's going to take you a while.
I'm dripping grease and breadcrumbs everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely wait until it's done.
All right. You make it to the Temple of Hermes. And there is a white pillared building, sort of the standard, Greek, ancient Greek temple of the white pillars. But you do notice that it is engraved with sort of golden filigree and a statue of a naked male with sort of curly hair, holding the caduceus, twin snake staff. standing proudly with little wings on his boots.
I'm not going to wait in real time. Can we just sort of skip ahead?
Hang on,
ahead
I'm
5
going to
minutes?
press fast forward on Cedric.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
thank
wanna
God he had his boots on.
Yeah, I don't want to badger you, but could you explain?
Hey.
All right.
Really
Yeah.
good new D&D group.
All right, so you head into the temple,
Yes.
and you are met by a number of people who are sat, kneeling and praying. Seem to be making various offerings. A few of them you sort of catch snippets of their prayers. Seem to be talking about blessing the travels that they are having. Various other things, sort of hoping that they'll have a good trade when they get to wherever it is they're going. All sorts of things that make quite sense to you. So,
Can I see someone that looks like a priest or someone in a position of authority?
there does appear to be a few priests that sort of stood around conversations and passing holy symbols over. They have a caduceus, the winged staff and serpent caduceus necklace around them as their holy symbol.
I will make sure my symbol of Athena is showing.
Okay.
And go and walk over and wait politely for one of them to notice me and speak to me.
Okay. Takes a couple of minutes because they seem to be engrossed in their conversation. And one of them there's sort of a human female turns around and says, "Oh, apologies." She turns away from the group and turns to you. How may I assist you, sir? Madam, I'm sorry.
Foundling is my name.
Foundling, my apologies. Mine is Cresta.
Pleased to meet you, Cresta. Myself and my companions are here in search of information that may lie within the realm of Hermes.
Right.
It is a somewhat strange tale. We've travelled here from Jorvik, where we have been combating an invasion from other planes, such as the Fire Plane, Earth Plane, those kinds of places.
Right. Far travelled you have been indeed.
They are plotting something rather bad.
The Orvicians are.
Sorry?
The Orvicians are.
No, the interlopers from the other planes.
Right.
We have battled and defeated some of them, but in search of answers for a more permanent solution, we were able to get information in the form of a poetic prophecy that said that when we slayed these interlopers from the other planes, their souls would be drained and sealed with the gods. So we are attempting to find out the meaning of this. Would you be able to intercede with Hermes on our behalf to see if he knows anything of these souls being gathered?
I could try. Where did you get the riddle from? Was it a prophecy that was foretold to you by a Pythia or something?
We were actually able to obtain this from the Medusa.
And you survived. That's impressive.
It was not easy. We almost had to sacrifice one of our own to achieve it.
So we can certainly try to interpret it. Would you give me the lines, and I might be able to assist you.
Can I just say I've done it rather than go?
Yes.
Yeah.
She ponders for a moment. It doesn't sound as if it is something that is necessarily related to Hermes. It doesn't sound like it's something that he is taking the soul and passing it on to the next world or locking it away somewhere. It sounds almost like once the death happens, the soul is to be transferred into something else. From reading it, it does suggest that it might be something that you need to speak to possibly a cleric of Hephaestus, just purely based on that molten diamond aspect and the mold. It suggests that it's some crafting involved.
That thought had occurred to me. I presume there's a temple of Hephaestus in the city as well?
There is, yes. It's about 6 temples down in the Vectoram sector. It's the main temple. It's quite easy to notice, to be fair.
Thank you for your time. You've been helpful.
That is quite a right, Foundling.
I'll hand over a platinum.
Oh, thank you. Safe travels to you.
And to you.
She looks like she's about to respond and then smiles and turns back to her colleagues.
Okay.
Cedric, you notice that she doesn't put the coin in sort of like a collective pin, but she palms it and just looks like she just leave.
I did, on entering, make a religion check. Would a religion check of 12 mean that I remember that Hermes is also the god of thieves?
Yeah, you would remember that is something that does happen.
I will just watch my pockets, make sure no one comes to the place that I don't trust.
There's no theft that takes place over the course of this. They seem to be at least respectful of it, if perhaps not quite as forthcoming when it comes to the getting one past their supervisors.
Down 6 temples down to Temple of Hephaestus.
Okay.
Kafina, maybe you should take the lead on this one, as this seems to be more your area.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay. As you approach the Temple of Hephaestus, this one is intriguing. Instead of the sort of, it does have the white columns and the same sort of structure as the Temple of previous temple that you saw, but it does have a thick coating of soot and ash that does gather around the top, as if there's been fires burning underneath the entire time. The soot has just been captured. It has quite a charming effect of how it rises up. It does seem to glow in a sort of soft red color around the top of it, so it looks like the top of the building is actually on fire. It's kind of cool. But you step inside, and there is a sort of a heady smoke smell that sort of comes across you. You can hear as you're getting closer, there's a lot of metal being forged off in the distance. But there are a few clerics that are sort of stood in here that are going about various businesses, not blessing tools and anvils and various other bits and pieces.
Ignore it, Luke. Carry on.
Okay. Just randomly get a Twitch security code. Okay, that's one of the dwarfs, quite a muscular male dwarf, sort of wanders over. His beard has been also stylized back. But you actually notice that as you get closer to him, he's actually clean shaven, but he has a tattoo of a beard that runs all the way down to sort of his chest, and he's not wearing a shirt. He's just got an apron, and he's just got the beard going down the chest. Seemingly,
does it come out the bottom of the apron?
It doesn't. It doesn't. But not that you can tell. He is wearing trousers, but he's not wearing a shirt. Comes over and says, "Great. How may I assist you? That's unfortunate timing."
Hi. Yeah, sorry. We had sort of a riddle, and and we were told it'd be a good idea to come here and, query yourselves about it and hopefully get some guidance, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, what's the riddle?
Brevity,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This does sound like it's something that falls in Hephaestus' range. If it might be trying to guide you to speak with him directly, in which case there is a place that we can suggest you go. It's not the most pleasant place. It's quite an ordeal to get there. I should warn you. It's mainly reserved for those who are attempting to become a high cleric of Hephaestus. It's a pilgrimage. It's known as Vulcan's Geyser. It's a deep sea volcano to the west of Hellas Gracia, where he does a lot of his forging.
Oh, that was another thing I was going to ask, because he actually spoke to me less than a week ago and told me to find him.
He did?
So, well, yeah, I believe he helped me with this when I first constructed it, and he may have gotten a little upset when I hit it in frustration. He told me I shouldn't do that, which he's right. I shouldn't. So yeah.
Studying you and it and the apparatus with quite some intent, yes. W. So you're a member of the contrivance.
Oh, yes, I am.
Interesting. Well, it just so happens that one of our clerics, Wendell Wolverclean, is about to undertake the pilgrimage themselves. They are looking for companions.
Okay. Well, yeah. I was about to ask if you could team up when you said that. That sounds good. More the merrier, I guess.
Well, you might change your mind when you say that. I'll go and get him for you. Bear with me. And he turns around, wanders off.
Eccentric NPC, here he comes.
It's just Stumpy, but now he's got artificial limbs they fitted him with hair.
It's another. Yeah, it's another Stumpy, but it's not the legs; it's the arms this time. So just
no, it's still Stumpy, but he's got an at that he's just sort of riding on top of.
Making references again. Find this very suspicious.
What? That I can make Star Wars references?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without having watched them.
I know things.
He's a doppelganger.
Don't you mean AT-AT?
Actually, probably an ATST, because those are the two-legged ones.
I'm just throwing grenade in there, that's right.
Nerds on the internet.
Yeah.
Fight.
That's impressive. I haven't seen any of them, and I also can't quote them. So
anyway, but the dwarf comes back, leading with him a tall humanoid shape with a sort of a bald head and pale skin, wearing a set of plate armor engraved with runes and flames. However, instead of the leg pieces that you would expect, you can see 6 octopus legs protected by a skirt of metal plating. You can see that their fingers are calloused and burned and scarred. And the exposed skin seems to sort of meld subtly with the background colours. He says, all right, Wendell, if you'd like to introduce yourself. Yes. Yes. I'm Wendell Wolverclean. Hi.
Hello.
Pleased to meet you.
I can't help but notice that you have some similarities to a few of my friends. 100%. Open up the satchel and have Ken and Knot come out of the bag.
Oh, yes. Very good. Are you going to make calamari jokes as well?
No, they generally can talk. I thought you might want to converse. I'm waiting for Kenan not to engage in some conversation.
Oh, hi. It looks like us, but bigger than that. Yeah, I know, Ken. It's really interesting. Hi. Hi.
Well, now we're acquainted.
Yes, quite.
Yeah, we want to do this trial, or at least get to where the trial ends. And apparently it'd be useful to team up. Are you interested?
Why?
Why what?
Why do you want to go there?
Oh, I need to meet Hephaestus in person. He said I should go find him.
Why?
I need help. Well, I was trying to upgrade this, and he told me I should go meet him. Plus, we have another quest as well that involves forging something out of molten metal. It's a long story, but yeah, we need a few bits of assistance from him.
At the mention of the upgrading of the apparatus, you can see the eyes just sort of widen a little bit, and just sort of surprising speed of this octopus person just scuffling their way towards him, just starts inspecting every little bit of this and sort of getting the fingers underneath the straps and getting awkwardly close. And you just notice one of the legs come up and just start like moving some of the things just to see how they interact. It's very bizarre to watch.
If he even gets close to my tits, I am slapping him.
He's not going anywhere near genitals. He is purely on
Okay.
the metal and.
But even so, this thing is around my chest. If he gets too close, I'm gonna be like, no, that's it. Fucking smack.
Just looking consistently over the apparatus. It's more than anything has turned you away so that they can look at the back.
Oh, okay.
Just sort of,
if he touches my ass.
You'll let it. No.
I wonder if Leela actually being very enthusiastic over something new.
Oxford Pie are all about that elf arse.
Very well, I've decided I will come with you.
All right.
Am I able to discern this person's intentions for suddenly deciding
Make an insight check.
whether they just plan to take Fee down there, kill her, and take her stuff? 18.
18. Seems to have genuinely decided on the spot that they're going to take you with them for their trial for whatever reason. You have no idea why.
Okay,
You're not particularly good at reading octopi.
that seems fair.
Or octopus, as this race is called.
If that's settled, we still have Hecate. Is it Hecate? Am I getting it right?
Hecate was the one you were told to avoid.
No. I know, but we still have to go there. I'm just not going inside. I'm just.
Why do you need to go to Hecate?
Didn't we need to ask about the soul stuff? We were keen on that.
No, Leela was told they might be able to find magic items there. The other place was Thanatos, which is the monastery one.
Okay.
Hades adjacent.
We plan to visit a couple more of the temples and set off later today. We have a flying machine.
No flying. Need to stay water adjacent.
Okay.
It's
how
very
long
quick.
do you think?
We can bring water on the ship.
No.
How long do you think it would take to complete this pilgrimage following your route?
Well, swimming from the edge of the mountain range take maybe 2 days to get there, then swim a couple of hours. But then the trial to get in is dangerous. It's also quite deep.
I'm good at swimming, but the rest of my companions are not. Would it be
Yeah.
acceptable for you to swim and for us to follow you from the air?
No, it's deep. You wouldn't be able to follow me.
Yeah, it
We could
sounds
just knock him out and then bring him on the ship.
Well, I'd
It-
leave it.
No, it sounds like it's too far underwater for us to bring the ship. Similar to how we can't bring the ship inside this mountain. We're stuck with having to do the trek without the ship. Which, considering we have people guarding it already, is kind of good.
We saw guards going back up earlier. Maybe we could just send a note up with the next shift and a bit of extra payment to ask them to guard it for longer. Would you mind if we visited a couple more temples before setting off?
No, prepare. Let's be prepared. Let's be prepared.
Okay.
We'll meet you back here in a few hours then.
Okay. I'm going for a bath. Leaves. With that, that's where we'll take a break. It's 8:45, so it's a good opportunity to.
Cool.
We will come back in 15 minutes and we'll pick it up from there. See you in a little bit.
If you took a picture, it'll last longer.
Perfect time. Yep. We're back after admiring Dom's ears.
Yes.
And Matt's here. Woohoo! So that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. So thank you for joining us, everyone. So you have picked up Wendell, or he has gone for a bath, and he will be rejoining you later. What are you guys doing now?
I wanted to go check out that monastery.
Okay, you head up to the monastery, and there is a simple temple up there, sort of black basalt carvings of various passages of life and death cycles, with the 3 possible paths to the underworld, Elysium, the fields of Asphodel, and Tartarus, all laid out within the carvings of it, and a statue of a tall male humanoid with surrounded by flames at his feet, just stood. Kind of looks a little bit like Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Thor or just Jeff Goldblum? Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. Thor's been replaced by Jerry again. Just sort of stood there looking down. There are a few people that are out sparring at this point, sort of monks fighting with each other. They sort of see you approaching, and one of them catches the foot of another, spins it round, bows, and turns to you.
I'll get to appropriate distance and bow.
Greetings, traveller. How may we assist you?
Greetings to you. We are seeking assistance in unraveling a, I suppose, prophecy of sorts we have received. We have gained some knowledge from the Temple of Hephaestus, but as this relates to souls, it seemed worth asking here as well for your interpretation. May I quote the verse and see what you can make of it?
By all means, we welcome anyone who comes to seek wisdom.
And we are all about the wisdomfulness.
We are all about the wisdomfulness.
Okay, so I will once again go through the verse.
It does not sound as if these visionaries and those that you are trying to bind are of a mortal realm, so to speak. It might be that their souls have been claimed by another entity. If it is suggesting that the soul is to be captured by some form, that perhaps it is, I don't say free, but it is locked, shall we say, perhaps to reform at a later point. If there's a desire for it to be sealed completely, then that would suggest that this spirit or soul that you're trying to encroach upon, if killed outside of the conditions set out by this verse, might return.
We have already killed some of these, and there did not seem to be anything tangible anything detectable we could collect.
It could be that the soul is bound to a plane of existence, perhaps, and is therefore available to be transplanted, perhaps. It's looking for another body to inhabit.
Maybe that relates to the pouring of something into a mold, creating a new vessel for the soul to be drawn to.
Perhaps, although it suggests within verse 4, something that opposes it, attracts it and contains it. You would have to perhaps know what each individual that you are capturing could be most opposed by. If there are 8 that you are doing this for.
So, for example, possibly it would be worth, say, you're tackling one native to the plane of fire with something related to cold in opposition.
Perhaps, and if it's relating to the gods, then that would suggest something of Poseidon, the god of the sea. Or Keone, goddess of snow.
That may shed light on the taken from 8 to fragment of power. Possibly we need the powers of the 8 gods that would be opposed to these visionaries.
You said you'd sought wisdom from other temples. Are they coming to similar conclusions? Or different interpretations, perhaps?
Hermes were only able to provide the negative information that this did not seem to be within his domain. The Temple of Hephaestus have directed us on how to undertake a pilgrimage. Kafina here has been spoken to by Hephaestus and told to seek him out at his forge. So we do intend to pursue that next. We now have a guide on how to do that. I believe that will be our next step.
That would make sense. God has called you to them. It's wise to seek them out.
Anyone else have anything here?
No, not for me.
No, I don't think so.
That was so Cedric. Let me ponder for a moment. Horses, everything. No.
If the rest of you do not mind waiting a little while, and if you are willing, may I join your sparring? It has been some time since I've trained rather than been just involved in a real fight. I would welcome the opportunity to learn.
By all means. What order do you follow?
The Order of Athena, from a monastery near the coast towards Elendor.
That path. Very well. I shall indulge you. He sort of steps into an intriguing stance where his just sort of hands are a little bit loose and sort of cross-guarded, and begins to spar with you.
Yes, I'm not going to pop out my extra arms or anything. It's just nice little training session.
Yeah, get a good sweat. Good combat session. What about the rest of you? What are you doing whilst founding spars?
Cheering me on, of course.
The place we're going is underwater.
Right.
Should probably try and source things that might help with underwater expeditions.
Mm-hmm.
So, some rope, maybe some source of light, a way of breathing.
I mean, I've got the breathing covered.
Some climbing gear, maybe?
Maybe we should get something that helps us against being cold. Okay, let's go do that then.
That sounds good to me. If we can find, but extremely fast.
What do you mean?
No picnics.
Yeah, right, okay. I think Lyra wanted to look for some magical items too.
I wanted to have a look at the Temple of Hecate and possibly find a temple to Artemis, if there is such a thing.
Sure, we can go looking.
All right.
Shops first.
Okay.
Let's
head
look
down to the-
for a I was going to say brewery, but no, I want like a potion alchemist. That's what I'm after.
Alchemist? Okay. Head down to the Agora. After maybe half an hour or so, you are able to find an alchemist, a female dwarf, sort of situated opposite the temple to Hecate. Sort of sits there, just sort of. Oh, hello there.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
How can I be assisting you today?
I'm wondering if you have any potions that may help us resist some of the effects of a cold environment.
Oh, let me have a look for you, dearie. Let's see. I've got just the two potions of cold resistance.
We will probably take those, but we might also buy some more things too.
All right. What other things are you looking for?
We're going to be underwater, so is there something you have that might help us with that?
I've got potions of water breathing.
How many of those do you have?
I got 6.
Okay, we will probably but also we might have more things to buy.
All right. Well, that's those rates set out on the table for you, dearie. What else might you be interested in?
Does anyone know what else we might be interested in?
Oh, hello, dear.
Sorry, where are we now?
Potion shop.
This is Dartwise.
Do you have any scrolls? Oh no, it's potion shop.
It's
yeah.
a potionist and alchemist. Yeah.
No, we do alchemy here. If you want potion, or you want spells, then you might be best off going over there.
Okay. What's the full list of potions? Do you have a catalog or something?
Well, I've got potions of healing, I've got potions of sight, I've got potions of strength, I've got antidotes, I've got poisons, I've got all sorts of wonderful things.
What? Oh, sorry. Healing, antidote, and did you say speed potion? Those would be the three I'd be interested in.
Growth, I didn't say speed, I don't think.
Fair enough. Well, then just healing and removing ailments or antidote.
An antitoxin is perfectly reasonable. The antitoxins themselves. 50 gold apiece. We've got plenty of those. Lots of venomous creatures wandering around here. We can inject it goes into cows and then it comes out and we take the antitoxin from it. That's how you get antibodies for toxins or for venoms. That is genuinely a thing.
Wow. The more you know. Yes, all right. I'll take 10 of those and then every health potion you have.
Oh, big spenders.
I've just had another thought as well. Do you have anything that might help people see in the dark?
Oh, I'm afraid not, dear.
Oh, okay.
We live in a subterranean society where most people can see in the dark.
What if you had visitors?
We've got torches.
Do you have torches that work underwater?
I don't.
Okay.
You said you had scrolls that help with strength?
Potions, dear, potions.
Yes, potions, sorry.
I've got 2 potions of giant strength. One of this hill giant that my cousin's boy's wife's sister fought off a while back. And then this one of frost giant.
That's a 23 and a 25, isn't it, then?
Hill giant's 21.
Yeah.
21, 25.
I'll take both of those.
Right, that will cost you. She's sort of coming to herself. She does the calculations. Well, those will cost you 60,000 gold pieces for the 2.
60?
Aye.
I will not have them. I'm stronger than that anyway.
Oh, all right then, dear. Every healing potion you said.
Yes.
Well, I've got 12 of the regular, 6 of the greater, and 3 superior, and I've got 1 special supreme, but that is quite pricey.
Shit.
If I put the supreme to one side for the moment, because that is quite expensive, but the others, they sum to 3,500 gold.
Yeah, that's easy.
And then for the supreme, that on its own is 10,000.
Yeah, I'll skip it. Quantity over quality kind of works better in this situation.
No problem. For the water breathing, those are 250 gold a piece, so that's 1,500. And for the, what was the other ones you were looking at?
Oh, cold resistance.
The cold resistance, those are 600. Last only an hour, so be careful.
Are you paying for all of this, Kafina?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Sorry, I was only counting up the ones I asked
Okay,
for.
sorry. It looked like you were still doing math after the fact, so I thought, oh, maybe he's just adding this all together.
I'm just typing it all in, weirdly enough, to my web browser's URL bar because I just couldn't open
I
anything.
keep my notes.
It's terrible.
Really beyond, but you've got an equipment section right there.
Yeah, but there's no like notes. Anyway, it was 600 for each.
There's no notes section. There's no notes section.
200. How much was the water breathing ones again?
Water breathing for 250 apiece. So 1500 for the 6.
1500 for the 6. So we're looking at 2,700 for all 7 of those potions.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, before you said those two.
Sorry. Okay. So it's 2,100 for all of the potions.
Okay. Yep. So that 2,100 for those plus the 35,500.
I'll keep the potions on me just in case.
Brings us to 37,600, which totally fine. Cool. There's the total. 600, right? And then I take a 10 off it to turn it into platinum, 3,760 platinum. Cool. 3, 7, 3, 7. Yep, that's it.
Supermarket for us.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so there you go. Fee will just go into her bag and pull out that close to 4,000 platinum. One.
Thank you, dear.
But Ross, can you go ahead and mark down those? Although actually, considering the potions,
I've got the cold and the water breathing one.
Yeah, okay. You hold on to those unless you're about to dish them out. For potion dishing out, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's always. Why do we have to be a group of 7? 6 would be so much easier because Luke always does it in multiples of 6. Sorry?
There's also 8 of you.
Yes. Okay. Good point. Right. Does anyone need any more potions? No.
So.
Everyone's looking down and not.
I don't think I have any. No.
Oh. Okay.
Any need, for any more.
Oh. No one else?
I can take some superior ones if you're not bothered.
Yeah, sure. I've got 3 of them. You want them all?
Sure.
I have 2 graters on me, so.
All right. Well, yeah, you can have all these, and I mean, I'll just keep these on me. If you guys feel that you need them, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I took them because I always need healing.
Yeah.
Stop being hit, then you'll get fly better.
If I don't get hit, someone important does.
True story.
All right. So, potions procured. What's next?
Tom wanted to go into the C's items.
Okay.
Temple of Hecate?
Yes, Temple of Hecate, correct.
Head in. There is sort of a tiefling dwarf cross that is sort of stood there and goes, "Hey, what can I do for you?"
I was told that there was a possibility you might have a few magic items available in exchange for a donation to the temple. Is that correct?
We might be able to do something for you. What sort of thing you're looking for?
I'm looking for some sending stones.
Be right with you. Comes back from short while, has 2 stones in hand. Hey, we've got a set.
What, without wishing to be indelicate, what donation do you think this warrants for the temple?
Well, whatever you feel is appropriate for such a boon.
I honestly don't know.
No,
I'm sure it's like a common item, so
still doesn't mean that Lyra spends that much time shopping for items and those exchange rates.
Would
He actually bought 2 sets of them and remembers.
He's not there.
Oh, yes, that's right. I can't be there. Good point. Thank you. I'm hiding in an alley.
50 platinum pieces be an appropriate donation?
15 platinum pieces would be appropriate. Thank you.
Sorry, I did say 50.
50? That would be appropriate tonight. You would appreciate that. Watch over your path.
50 platinum pieces.
Takes 50 platinum pieces from you and hands you sending stones. Is that all I can help you with today? My accent wanders and stops existing.
It probably. Yes, sorry, I shouldn't comment. No, I think that's all. Thank you very much.
That is quite all right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, sorry, just one thing. Very Artemis here, or a shrine of some sort?
Yeah, there is. If you go across the way, there's the temple to Artemis and Apollo. It's the duality temple. You can go to one side is Artemis, one's Apollo.
Thank you. I will go there. Thank you.
Okay, head over to the temple of Artemis.
I thought I might just spend a short amount of time praying over my goggles.
Okay.
As you did.
Make a religion check.
Ooh. 18.
18, okay. You sort of sit and you pray, you ponder over the goggles for a short while. And as you're sat there, you just feel something dance across your vision behind your closed eyes. It's like the image of a stag. The silvery stag just runs straight across, but the antlers are far more prominent than those you have seen on the material plane. It's remnant of home. And that's it.
Troubling. Right, I'll go and meet the others, I guess.
Okay, you go meet the others. Is there anything else that you wish to do in Vectoram?
Is there anything anywhere where I could possibly find some paladin spells?
How do you mean paladin spells? Like scrolls?
Scrolls, yeah. Everywhere I've been has been like, no, we only do wizard stuff.
Temple of Hecate, you could ask. Again,
I can ask, yes, sure.
Hey, we've got some scrolls we could probably provide you. What sort of, what are you thinking? Any particular magic that your deity provides?
Unfortunately, I'm looking for protection of the highest power, things I'm unable to cast.
I see. What are you looking at?
Hang on.
Connor.
Whilst Ashka sits and communes with God.
my mother.
Asher communes with Odin for a second to think of what spell.
I'm looking for a circle of power, if possible.
I think we can. We've got one tucked away.
Oof. Been after this for so long.
Placey, I'll warn you.
Where's my money machine? Fee?
Hiding outside. I'm not allowed in this place.
I know.
That would cost you 6,000 gold.
Done.
You have a scroll of circle of power.
I hand him 600 platinum, I think that is.
Yes.
Done.
Circle of power does. And feel terrified. Man. Oh yes, that one. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, that one that got me a really broken combo.
Yeah.
That one that makes people like Cruz and Lyra, like and Foundling, impossible to deal damage to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very possible to deal damage today.
Oh, look at those ones. Anyway, all right, that's Asher done. Anyone else?
Yep. Very happy now.
Leela, do you need to get anything before you leave the ship alone?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
You're not going to get it? Okay.
What? Oh, what, that?
Yes.
Sorry, I thought we were still in the town.
You're in the town, yeah, but you're going to be departing from the town soon. So...
Yeah, yes, she goes and gets it.
Okay. Leela goes off on her own for a little while, and about an hour or so, about 2 hours or so later, she returns with her crab.
Could we say she sorted out arranging for extended guarding of the ship while she was up there?
Sure, we'll say that Leela did that. So they'll save 1,000 gold. They'll happily look after it for an extended period.
Hey, you've got the ready machine.
Wait, hang on. Where don't we just have gold on the ship? Or whatever, 1,000 gold.
Yeah, Leela could have found money in.
It's all right because I don't know if anyone actually has that number written down anywhere. So
you just found somebody down the back of the sofa in the crew.
One moment. Well, no, I thought you left it in the keep where you all took some money before you left and then left the rest of it in the keep.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Because otherwise, that's going to be gone.
No, we did do that. We took some each and then left the rest.
That's all right. Sorry, 1,000 gold is nothing. Just sorry.
Yeah. All right. Have 100 platinum. Yes, but Leela returns with her crown.
Okay, let's take the crab and go meet the octopus.
All right, you head off and meet the octopus. And he's stood outside the temple to Hephaestus, ready to fall. Ah, you're here. Good. You ready to go? Wow. He's just staring at the crab.
Does Leela know how to use the claw to wave?
We'll say yes.
He waves like.
Goes and immediately starts inspecting it and going all over the various rivets and things and having a look.
Can she like pop her head out?
You can.
Like, hi, you want to come inside and have a look? It's brilliant in here. You should come and see it all. It's great. I'll show you around. Come on. I'll see if you can fit in it.
He squeezes it. He is very malleable, so he is able to very easily fit inside here. And he's just sort of.
Gives him a go.
Is he sniffing like a dog? Or
No, he's just looking around. You get the sense that he has a difficulty finding focus, and when he does get an interest in something, he wants to take in every detail of it. Much
So she'll probably like talk him through the levers, like this lever does this, and if I do this lever with that, it does that, and look, it does this and all of that. And oh my god, it's great. I only found this a while ago, but I think I figured out how to use it. But yeah, I think it can help us with our journey. So yeah, this is great. If you want to like come along for the ride, this will be great fun. Like friends on a road trip together. It's so much fun.
While everyone else on the exterior of the crab is dodging claw attacks.
A tail pops out occasionally, just bonks someone on the head. Oh.
He just pokes out. Sorry. Sorry.
He seems to have made a friend. And he's very happy talking to Leela, and he takes out some of the things that he has made over the course of it. He's got this little clockwork sphere that when he sort of decompresses a plunger, it flashes. It sort of just does a tiny burst of light that makes you both go, because he's done it inside the crab, which is a terrible idea, but you can think it through. He's just very excited.
Aww.
Just showing you all sorts of things. He's very excited to have a mechanic friend.
Biggest thermal detonator.
Look at this thermite! But with that, unless there's anything else that you wish to do, he does actually come out of the crowd because he needs to show you where to go.
I'm ready. Everyone ready?
I'm ready.
Anyone not?
How many people?
What's going on?
Yeah, how many people can we get in this crab? Sorry.
2 people can fit in the crab.
Okay, so everyone else needs to
fit.
Will not fit. Who's going in the crab? I presume Leela. Leela, I presume you are controlling your crab.
I'll be inside my crab. I'll be doing crabby things.
Does anyone else want to go in the crab?
I don't swim very well.
So maybe you should also go in the crab.
I sink very well.
That's okay. This thing can swim and sink, so we'll just do whatever gets us there. But yeah, if you can't swim that well, yeah, you're more than welcome to join me.
Do I want to be in an enclosed space with that?
I will hand each of them a potion of water breathing.
Okay, Foundling's okay. Foundling need it.
I mean specifically the people who would be inside the crab, just in case it springs a leak and I can't get in there to cast a spell or something. They've got an option then, basically.
Okay. So Leela and Asher. I mean, you can cast if you're going to cast the spell on them anyway, then it can do 10 creatures.
Yes, no, it's fine. I'm just giving them the potion as a backup because I visibly won't be able to see them, which would concern me the most, I think.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I have the spell ready. I usually do. This will be the one time I don't have it.
You've got 2 days of walking before you get there, so.
Okay. Oh, okay. No worries then. I do not have it ready for once, so I would have to spend a day at least.
There you go. So take a couple of days walking. You learn a little bit about Wendell. He's quite happy chatting with Leela. He's a very accomplished clerical professor. It's intriguing to find someone who is normally aquatic based that is so into this god of fire and smithing. And it seems to be that he had just picked up a natural knack for it and had found Hephaestus to be a particularly interesting deity that he would follow, and sort of got the idea of he was able to pass the time by sort of tinkering with small things. There was a gnome in the village that he grew up in that was able to sort of teach him some various little bits and pieces, making various bits of clockwork and machinery. And eventually sort of upgraded to smithing and found that being able to use multiple limbs quite useful when making stuff. But you eventually make your way to the outskirts of the coast of the mountain range, and you are stood at the scene. He goes, "Oh, okay. You've got to go that way," and just points off into the distance. About 2 hours worth, but it will go deep.
You know how deep?
Very.
Rough number would be great, thanks.
500 feet, maybe.
Okay, that'd be great, thanks.
That is an incredible amount.
Yep. Just as well you got magic.
Say 500 feet.
Oh, 500 feet down, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Two things. Can people raise their hand if they don't have the ability to see in the dark? I mean, for myself.
Got two characters to look at.
I'm really testing you right now.
Well, you obviously can see in the dark, Connor. I mean, you're proving it yourself.
Either that, we can't see in the dark and can't
I don't
find
think
the light switch.
Yes, I don't think Connor can, or Asher can. Sorry.
Go.
Leela can't.
Can Leela?
Leela can 60
Oh, wow.
feet.
Okay, I take it back.
Powers.
Pretty sure it's just
can
you
everyone
now, buddy.
Yeah, can like everyone see in the dark?
It
Yeah,
was just you and
Kafina.
Kafina, but Kafina's a different race now.
I can see in the.
Never
I
mind.
have super dark vision now, so.
Okay. I guess
Also-
I'll cast dark vision on myself.
Leela has lights on the crab.
Yeah,
So if it gets dark in
I think.
underwater.
Yeah. No, it's just good just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll just cast. I mean, if it's just me, that makes it even better. I'll cast dark vision on myself. So for the next 8 hours, I can see in darkness. And then following that, I will spend 10 minutes to cast water breathing on everyone else.
Cruz can't see.
Cruz can.
Can he? Oh, he's got
an item.
got an item. Fine. I forget he has that
I
item.
deliberately built it with that item.
Fair enough.
To circumvent.
That's just Cedric.
Yep. Okay. And I will spend 10 minutes just ritual casting water breathing on everyone else.
How long does dark vision last? Is it 10 minutes? An hour?
It's 8 hours.
Oh, nice.
It's really good. It's a really good spell.
All right. So, you guys set off swimming into the darkness. As you approach the water, it does start to. You feel the change in temperature.
Camera's gone weird.
There we go. You do start to feel the changes in pressure, the magic sort of equalizing as you go down. For Leela and Asher, it's not really that much of a problem because you're safe inside a bubble. And as the light does sort of slowly fade away as you descend, the lights from the crab do seem to help out and give you some guidance. You're able to follow Wendell as he's swimming. He does explain that as you're going down, because the area is quite sacred to Hephaestus, this whole passageway and this whole pilgrimage is quite sacred to him. No creatures will bother you. There's quite a lot of things that won't, major things won't come and bother you. You seem to have a mild protection for this. Small things will come your way, like a jellyfish will occasionally just sort of swim across your vision, or just a school of, salmon, something like that, cod, whatever, will come by. But it won't bother you too much. But as the first hour comes, you descend relatively slowly, but you're now, by this point, about 250 feet below the surface of the water, so light has gone completely. It's like Connor has right now. There is just the glimmering lanterns coming from the submarine. And I need everyone who is not got a swim speed, so everyone except for Foundling, Leela, and Asher, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Again.
Have you not got the page open?
No, I was looking at skills because that's the page I always need.
It's okay.
Leela gets +5.
Leela does have to make the save.
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Tom?
28.
You didn't need to make the save, Connor.
Oh, sorry. I thought you heard you say me.
No, I said everyone except for Foundling, Leela, and Asher.
19.
19. Kalatar Cruz.
18 for Kazar and 14 for Cruz.
Okay, so all fine.
When it starts getting cold, I will, if it does, I
It
will,
has gotten cold
I will,
very quickly.
if it gets cold to the point. In fact, I'll just start handing out the cold potions to everyone. Just,
You've only got 2.
Did I write these down in the wrong order?
You have 6 potions of water breathing,
Oh, I did write them down in the wrong order.
2 of water breathing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
In which case I'll hand some more water breathings out, I guess, just in case.
Okay.
Are we already past the 1 hour mark you said?
That was 1 hour, yes.
Yeah. And I'm feeling this pressure now. So I'm actually going to give some distance and try casting Alter Self and take the aquatic form.
Okay. Roll your Arcana check.
Yeah. A crit.
Okay. So you give yourself the aquatic form for Alter Self, which gives you gills and
A swim speed equal to my walking speed.
that's right. So yeah, so you're fine. You still feel the pressure on you, but your body feels a little bit more adapted to it. And there's still a lot of resistance that you're having for the swimming, but now you've got the aquatic mobility, you're a little bit better off for it.
Thank you.
But you keep going, getting deeper, following on. It's getting cold again, or still. You're starting to feel that pressure really building on. You're starting to come towards the 2nd hour mark. So everyone apart from Leela, Asher, Foundling, and Kafina make a Constitution saving throw again.
Just a D20 plus 5, yeah?
Not you!
Oh, I said it's a D20 plus 5.
21.
Okay, you're fine.
18.
You're fine.
15.
4.
Counts up.
Yes, Cruz.
7.
Cruz is struggling with this. He's struggling with the pressure, the depth, everything's going on. This is completely against his nature to be in
He's a
there.
bird.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not even an aquatic bird either. He's not even a swan. The pressure is really starting to build on him and press down on his limbs. And he's getting exhausted by this.
Yep.
He takes 4 points of exhaustion.
4?
Yep.
You okay, hun?
Oh!
Holy shit.
Christ.
Yeah. Swimming at that depth is dangerous.
Can't believe that. I can't believe you do that to your own boyfriend, Luke. That's just stuff.
So, for those who don't know,
Holy crap, I just looked at it.
I mean, you're basically dead at this
4
point.
points of exhaustion. You have disadvantage on ability checks.
I mean,
Your
that's the least of
speed
your problems.
is halved. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. And your hit point maximum is halved. Yes!
Which
Oh my
is weird because it hasn't done it on.
D&D Beyond.
No.
It might not be linked up in that way, so you just have to.
No, because no one ever got 4 points in one go.
Okay, so. Right, I will.
It's not a fucking challenge.
I will give Cruz a
Yeah.
potion of cold resistance just in case, because I feel like if anyone's gonna need it.
You notice Cruz now is really struggling and lagging behind and is.
Can Cruz try and hold on to the tail of the crab?
You can try. It
And I'll
will.
try and pull him along.
It will.
I don't want a crab. It's more like a scorpion because it's got a tail.
It is a scorpion, but everyone keeps calling it a crab. So
It looks like a crab.
to be fair, it's a
Crab
classic
makes
one.
sense because it goes under the water.
Okay, we'll call it a crab, but it's got a tail.
It's a crab scorpion.
Crabstian.
They're basically the same animal anyway, so.
I can try.
Okay, you're gonna have to swim at a very slow speed because Cruz, the strength is waning from the limbs, and I don't think Cruz can really hold on to anything. So you're gonna have to go exceedingly slow.
How much is it slowing us down?
Well, Cruz's speed previously was what's his walking speed?
5 feet.
What was his walking speed? 20.
25.
25. So
That's walking speed.
yeah. So
Hence I flew.
yeah, previously underwater, not so much. So Cruz is now dropping you down to 10 feet. Essentially, you're moving at half speed now, all of you.
Okay.
And we're not able to trade places, are we?
I don't think you can.
And
I
it will
don't
just-
think that
Yeah, you just flood the entire thing.
I will I will turn into an octopus, giant octopus,
Mhm.
and I will pull him along with me, which I think brings us back up to 30 feet of movement because octopus have
Okay.
60 swim speed, dragging something half to 30. So
Okay. And in doing so, also avoids you having to make a constitution.
it does, yes.
Now you're a fish. All right.
If I feel it getting that hard,
Yes.
I will cast freedom of movement on myself.
Okay.
I don't actually know if that will help, but it might.
It might do.
Actually, this is a fair point. The group as a whole would have been traveling at half
Very
speed
slow
anyway, because most of you can't swim.
Yeah.
So it would have been you would have actually been traveling at essentially cruiser speed, which is about 10 feet. So you're moving at quite a slow rate anyway.
Okay, we're going to speed that up now because Chris is getting dragged.
Cruiser getting dragged, so you're now moving an extra 5 feet essentially. Because you would move. I think the slowest rate now is Kafina, probably going up 30 feet. It's now down to 15.
Yeah, although if I keep casting,
You're no aquatic, so that doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
So it would then be Kalatar is also 15. So, all right. So freedom of movement, I believe that just removes your restriction of.
It's just the movement, and I don't get penalties to attack.
Yes. All right. Because of the speed that you're going at, and I've got to count that in. That does mean that it will take an extra hour for continuing. So those of you who do not have aquatic form, so Kafina, you need to cast the spell again. So roll your Arcana check.
15 plus 11, so
Okay.
easy. Yeah.
So this will just be Kalatar, Cruz, and Lyra.
But Cruz is near me.
No,
Is he
because you're-
gaining-
no, because
Oh
Cruz-
no, you took him away from the fucking ship.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he was getting the benefit anyway, was he?
no, because it's only a 10-foot.
Yeah, no, I was thinking if he was he was hanging on to it, weren't he?
Yeah, I
They-
don't think
So I
that's
was thinking he
given-
might have.
given enough, yeah.
No.
So Cruz has disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, does Cruz get advantage because I'm dragging him, so he has to exerting less.
It's
effort
the
to-
it's the cold and the pressure and everything. So what was Kalatar's? Before you forget.
24.
Fine.
Roll crit.
Fair enough. Oh, we lost Laura.
The crab explodes.
19.
Okay, you're fine.
Cruz is dead.
What did you roll?
Say
7.
Yeah. So as you're dragging him, Cedric.
I mean, this might be easier to get him down there now. We just fix it when we're down there.
Yeah. Just
So as you're sort of dragging him, no one. Actually, the point at this depth. At this depth, there's no light. So even those with dark vision have got a very limited vision of it, and they just see Cruz. If anyone does, just limp, just being dragged by an octopus.
Does Cedripus notice that he's suddenly gone limp?
No, because he was probably pretty limp anyway, so that he wouldn't be dragging.
Yeah, I mean, he's just dead, isn't he? So it's not even like I could do anything about it now. Like, there's literally no point in. So I'm just gonna, even if I do realize, I'm gonna keep on dragging his body.
keep dragging.
Okay, so you keep on going. You start to now feel warmer water currents starting to pass through your general vision. Not like your vision, but general tactile.
We've all suddenly got yeah.
Someone's peeing.
Me.
Being yourself because you're dead. So you feel the warmth start to come off. You can actually see that there's a soft glow at various points, just coming up in the light, in the darkness. There's points of light that are just sort of coming up. Wendell sort of turns and says, "We're getting close now. I think the trial would be beginning soon, so we need to be careful."
Be careful of what? Oh wait, I'm an octopus.
I speak octopus, it's fine. No.
Wait,
Octopi don't speak. No.
swimming here wasn't the
I can never remember how it actually works.
What's reading? You can speak, yeah.
Wait,
Trial.
swimming here wasn't the trial?
No.
Ah, okay. What's
We've
happening?
already
Can you-
lost someone, and it hasn't started yet.
What? Wait, what's the trial then?
Well, I don't know. There's warnings that things are not as they seem, and there's a lot of heat. That's all they really warn about.
So you say heat or feet?
Heat.
Oh, okay.
Heat.
Yeah,
Right.
There. To be fair, most people that have come down here have got something to protect them from the elements, and I can swim, so I didn't do anything like that.
We have a proof.
Yeah, I'm going to cut him down the middle and sleep inside him.
I think you're bigger than
Still
him.
bad on the outside.
I think actually you're probably better off plucking his wings and then just making a down pillow.
Thank you, Don.
Okay, so swimming closer and closer. You start to now see those of you with probably Kifina would probably see it first with the superior dark vision. Although effectively you're pretty blind at this point, most of you, just because of pure depth of this. You are starting to see the outline. So Kafina, actually, this is about 20 feet that you're able to see this out. Your vision is 10 feet for everyone who's got dark vision. Those who don't, it's nothing. Those who have got superior dark vision, like Kafina, it's 20 feet. Outside of the cone of lights that are coming from the apparatus that Leela is leading as Doghead pokes through. You start to notice that there is something moving in the along the base of this volcano that you're coming up to.
Something's moving. There's something there, just there, and I'm going to point in the direction.
Okay, point. None of you can see it. So unless Leela turns the thing to point at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So turns to have a look, and the spotlight will beam out, and you can see that there is a large bronze-coloured dragon, just sort of scratching at various rocks and picking things up, affecting it, discarding it, and then digging again.
How far away?
30 feet. But as the light sort of turn onto it, it turns its head, and you can see two piercing red eyes that just look up at you. Cedric, you hear as it sort of turns.
Like a creek?
Like a creek.
I wish I could communicate that.
I'll start waving and be like, "Hi."
Swims up, curiously.
I will click my ring.
Okay. Ring of tongues is up.
Because I know this.
I will speak in Draconic and
What do you
say,
say?
greetings.
It doesn't respond.
May we pass by to see her face us?
You just hear this deep voice come, which is familiar to you, Kafina. Now you enter, but pluck the key from this one's chest. As the wings sort of expand out, and you can see the talons now and the teeth. The teeth aren't ivory, they are drill bits that just start whirring.
That's horrifying.
It is. Now, we could roll initiative, or we could leave that for next week, because I'm aware of what time it is.
Yeah, I think next week.
Yeah.
It may go on
Let's go
for
next
a
week.
bit.
Right.
Although
So-
the idea of a dentist dragon is quite appropriate for a Halloween episode.
So, with that's where we'll pick it up next time. We'll see where that leads us.
Death.
Leads
us to death.
So we kill this and then put Cruce's soul inside of it, and we
Yeah.
get some dragon buddy,
Use the mechanics.
Mecha dragon.
And then Kelatar can have another dragon. So then finally we can come full circle and Matt can just control both characters, but they would actually be his, blah, blah, blah.
In their truest of forms.
What, one with the dragon, one dead?
Yes. That's how they are meant to be. So, thank you very much for joining us for this slightly truncated episode. Shorter than usual. So, hey ho, that's what happens. Sometimes the story beats leads us that way. So we shall pick this up next time. Thank you very much for joining us. Take care of yourselves out there. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.